He picked out this book right here, which I may have to turn around to read because the pictures are, and the writing is very light, and when you get older, eyes get in need of glasses sometimes. So this is The Day the Crayons Quit by Deimos, and it's a story that's sort of written by crayons, right? I would say that. And I'm going to take this part off so that I don't have to fiddle with it. The Day the Crayons Quit. It's a little bit funny, I think.
Yeah.
How many people have heard this story?
Oh my goodness! This is super hilarious.
It's really funny.
Everybody has read this?
Everybody's read this.
Well, Miss Olivia, you're in for a treat, I guess.
Have you read it?
You know what? I have a copy of it. I'm not sure.
I feel like
I've read it though.
Well, it's a story actually kind of written by crayons. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Letters.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. His name's like Dunkin' Donuts, that's right. I do too. Everybody does. Hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Who's this one from?
Purple crayon.
Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizards' hats. But it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside those lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Oh boy, dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige, and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while I only get things like turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Looks pretty sad, doesn't he?
Yeah. Very sad. What the?
Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are gray, but that's a lot of space to color in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are great too, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Dear Duncan, you color me, but with me, but why? Most of the time I'm the same color as the page you are using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. And I'm only used to color snow, or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon.
There's something on the...
What does it say? White cat in the snow by Duncan. Can you tell?
No, I just see a face of a cat.
Just the face.
That's
But I suppose this is over here.
White monster. White.
I have a white monster in it. Huh. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things. Things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in all the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, black crayon.
That'd be cool. It's like,
I think we're getting to the limits. Dear Duncan, as green crayon, I am writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my workloads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon.
well, at least somebody's happy.
At least somebody's happy. Now this one I have to turn around. Can you guess why I have to turn it around?
It is so
It's so light I can't even see it sideways, so you're just gonna have to bear with me here. Dear Duncan, I have to really concentrate. Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell that Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him myself, but we are no longer speaking, and I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal, and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. I think we're going to get a rebuttal on the next page from Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I am clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday you used me to color the sun in both the Monkey Island and the Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Aren't you glad I'm here? Haha, your pal and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Aren't you glad that was Monkey Island can I tell you? When Macy's little sister was born, we were talking about how she was so beautiful and wonderful, and Macy said, I think she came from Monkey Island. Okay, dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I have really enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I am so short and stubby. I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Crayon. Yeah. Raise your hand if blue is your favorite color. Well, there you go. No. I love this page. Raise your hand if pink is one of your favorite colors. Yeah, you'll get this now. Not one boy raised his hand. Duncan, okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color in her Little Princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur, or monster, or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. This is everybody's favorite page. Hey Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help. Your naked friend, Peach Crayon.
Mrs. Deimos is laughing.
But Mrs. Deimos thinks that's funny. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color me. And of course, he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea.
You used the old what the?
When Duncan showed his teacher his new pictures, she gave him an A for coloring. And
For all the colors.
look at, I think he used them all. And you can even see the white. And look at the black rainbow.
And the peach. Where's the peach?
Where is the, well, I don't know, I think the, is, well, is that
No,
orange or
look at
peach?
the back.
Oh, right there, there it is, the peach.
Oh no. I thought it was too embarrassing.
And no black whale, look
I
at it.
thought
A pink airplane.
I thought it was embarrassed to get out of the crayon box.
Well,
Since he was buttoning.
I think Duncan took them. And an A plus for creativity.
Oh, wait.
It's a cute book.
That's a
That's
cute book.
cool.
And you know, Mrs. Randall, times have changed
Yes,
since you taught in this room.
I bet.
And now,
It's been a
one of
few
the-
years.
yeah, the standards that we have to cover is like readers' point of view.
Point of view, wow.
Perfect book for it.
That was about the point.
Perfect book
Point of
from
view
each
of the
crayon's
crayons.
point of
Yeah.
view. Yes.
I think you skipped a page because I remember being a page of brown.
Did I skip brown?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you know, my fingers are old, so I have to. I think there is brown. Did I not read brown?
Oh.
I think she's, well, I don't remember a brown when I was,
Yeah, but
you know what?
there's no.
I don't think there was. I think that there's a beige, and
Yeah,
he
I
talks
think-
about brown.
yeah,
But I
I
will look
think-
closer later.
But that was good thinking, Alyssa, because it shows that you're thinking about what crayon colors were covered, right, out of
Yes,
those eight
right.
box,
Now-
colors that are usually in the box.
This is a very old book. Do you
Oh,
know
I
this
love
book?
that
This
book
is one of
too.
my
Allison,
favorites.
honey.
Does anyone know this book?
Oh, the box.
Not so many.
Not so many, because it's an old book, and what sometimes happens is the oldies but goodies get left in the left on the library shelf. So, yes,
I read the book.
you've read that book. Oh,
I
well,
never
Dr.
read it.
DeSoto, he's, what kind of a doctor do you think he might be? Not you and not the other one. What do you think?
Hair color?
A hair color doctor? No, I don't think
A
so.
dentist.
What do you think?
Dentist.
A dentist. He's a dentist, and you know how much fun it is to go to the dentist. Right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Dr. DeSoto was written by William Steed.
I go to the orthodontist.
Oh, lots of people do. Here we go, because this is a funny book too, you'll enjoy. Dr. DeSoto, the dentist, did very good work, so he had no end of patients. Those close to his own size, like moles, chipmunks, etc., sat in a regular dentist chair. Larger animals sat on the floor, while Dr. DeSoto stood on a ladder. Because what kind of an animal does it appear that Dr. DeSoto is? You think he's a pig? No. This oh, that's the pig he's working on. This is Dr. DeSoto. What do you think?
Rat.
A rat or a mouse? I think you're right.
Raccoon.
Nope, he's a mouse.
Yeah, because he has
So he's
black.
very small to work on a big animal like a pig. For extra large animals, he had a special room. There, Dr. DeSoto was hoisted up to the patient's mouth by an assistant, who also happened to be his wife. So he would just hang over the mouth and do his dental work.
It's a dolphin.
Oh, he's held up by a harness.
It's a dolphin. Where's the harness?
Dr. DeSoto was especially popular with the big animals. He was able to work inside their mouths, wearing little tiny boots to keep his feet dry, and his fingers were so delicate and his drill so dainty, he could hardly ever feel any pain. Being a mouse, he refused to treat animals dangerous to mice, and it said so on his sign. When the doorbell rang, he and his wife would look out the window. They wouldn't admit even the most timid-looking cat. What other animals do you think they might not like? What do you think?
Raccoons.
Maybe raccoons eat mice? What else eat mice?
Cats.
Cats do?
Owls.
Owls.
Fox.
A fox. There are a lot of animals that like to eat mice. One day, when they looked out, they saw a well-dressed fox with a flannel bandage around his jaw. "I cannot treat you, sir," Dr. DeSoto shouted. "Sir, haven't you read my sign?" "Please," the fox wailed, "have mercy, I'm suffering." And he wept so bitterly, it was pitiful to see. Oh, Oh, let's risk it, said Mrs. DeSoto. She pressed the buzzer. And, oh, just a moment, said Dr. DeSoto. That poor fox, he whispered to his wife. What shall we do? Let's risk it, said Mrs. DeSoto. She pressed the button and let the fox in. He was up the stairs in a flash. Bless your little hearts, he cried, falling to his knees. I beg you, do something soon. My tooth is killing me. Sit on the floor, sir, said Dr. DeSoto, and remove the bandage, please. Dr. DeSoto climbed up the ladder and bravely entered the fox's mouth. Wow! He gasped. The fox had a rotten bicuspid tooth and unusually bad breath. This tooth will have to come out, Dr. DeSoto announced, but we can make you a new one. Just stop the pain, whimpered the fox, wiping away some tears. Despite his misery, he had realized that a tasty little morsel was in his mouth, and his jaw began to quiver. Keep open, yelled Dr. DeSoto. Wide open, yelled his wife. I'm giving you gas now. That's like a medicine that makes you go to sleep. Said Dr. DeSoto. You won't feel a thing when I yank out that tooth. Soon the fox was in dreamland. Yummy, he mumbled. Ooh, how I love them raw, or with just a pinch of salt and a dry white wine. Dr. DeSoto and his wife could guess what he was dreaming about. Mrs. DeSoto handed her husband a pole to keep that fox's mouth wide open. What do you think he's dreaming about? What do you think?
Eating the mice.
Eating the mouse, exactly. Dr. DeSoto fastened his extractor to the bad tooth. Then he and his wife began turning the winch. Finally, with a sucking sound, the tooth popped out and hung swaying in the air. I'm bleeding, the fox yelped when he came to. Dr. DeSoto ran up the ladder and stuffed some gauze in the hole. The worst is over, he said. I'll have your new tooth ready tomorrow. Be here at 11 sharp. The fox, still kind of woozy, said goodbye and left. On his way home, he wondered if it would be shabby of him to eat the DeSotos after the job was done. Think it would be bad or okay? After office hours, Mrs. DeSoto made a tooth of pure gold and polished it. Raw with salt indeed, muttered Dr. DeSoto. How foolish of us to trust a fox. He didn't know what he was saying, said Mrs. DeSoto. Why should he harm us? We're helping him. Because he's a fox, said Dr. DeSoto. They're wicked, wicked creatures. That night, the DeSotos lay awake worrying. Should we let him in tomorrow? Mrs. DeSoto wondered. Once I start a job, said the dentist firmly, I finish it. My father was the same way. But we must do something to protect ourselves, said his wife. They talked and talked until they formed a plan. I think it will work, said Dr. DeSoto. A minute later, he was snoring. The next morning, promptly at 11, a very cheerful fox returned. He was feeling not a bit of pain, not a particle of pain. When Dr. DeSoto got into his mouth, he snapped it shut for just a moment and then opened it wide and laughed. And it was just a joke, he said. Be serious, said the dentist sharply. We have work to do. His wife was lugging the heavy tooth up the ladder. Oh, I love it, exclaimed the fox. It's just beautiful. Dr. DeSoto set the gold tooth in its socket and hooked it up to the teeth on both sides. The fox caressed the new tooth with his tongue. My, it feels good, he thought. I really shouldn't eat them. On the other hand, how can I resist? We're not finished, said Dr. DeSoto, holding up a large jug. I have here a remarkable preparation developed only recently by my wife and me. With just one application of this, you can be rid of toothaches forever. How would you like to be the first one to receive this unique treatment? Sounds good, doesn't it? I certainly would, the fox declared. I'd be honored. He hated any kind of personal pain. You will never have to see us again, said Dr. DeSoto. No one will ever see you again, said the fox to himself. He had definitely made up his mind to eat them with the help of his brand new tooth. Dr. DeSoto stepped into the fox's mouth with a bucket of the secret formula and proceeded to paint each tooth. He hummed to himself as he worked. Mrs. DeSoto stood by on the ladder, pointing out spots he'd missed. The fox looked very happy. When the dentist was done, he stepped out. "Now close your jaws tight," he said, "and keep them closed for a full minute." Somebody guessed what's happened. The fox did as he was told. Then he tried to open his mouth, but his teeth were stuck together. Excuse me, I probably should have mentioned," said Dr. DeSoto. "You won't be able to open your mouth for a day or two. The secret formula must first permeate the dentine. But don't worry, no pain ever again." The fox was stunned. He stared at Dr. DeSoto, then at his wife. They smiled and waited. All he could do was say, "Thank you very, very much," through his clenched teeth, and get up and leave. He tried to do so with dignity.
He can't eat.
Yeah, not for a couple days. Then he stumbled down the stairs in a daze. Dr. DeSoto and his assistant had outfoxed the fox. They kissed each other and took the rest of the day off. Just for a little.
I need a little text connection there at the very end on that
Did you?
last
Okay,
page.
yeah. Go for it, because
You
I'm
said he
way out of
outfoxed
practice.
the fox?
Outfoxed the fox.
Reminds me of another text I've read.
Oh.
Does it remind anybody else of another text we've read? The fox outfoxed the fox? What do you think, Charlie?
The gingerbread man?
Got it.
I was gonna say the
That's
gingerbread
what
What
I
girl.
thought.
outfoxed in that one?
The gingerbread man.
Yes. Yes, those were two great picks.
Aren't they fun stories? Well, thank you, Macy.
My
For
favorite.
two great. Raise your hand if your favorite was the day the crayons quit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun one.
Okay,
They're
hand
putting
down.
one.
Raise your hand if your favorite was Dr. DeSoto.
Allison, no.
Your hand went up twice, I think, Ken.
The
Hands down. Who would like to share their favorite part of the day the crayons quit? Julie?
peach when
Everybody
She
loves
turned blush when she said it, too.
I think you do that as a little peach.
Besides that, did anyone have a different favorite part of that one? Macy? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
seeing the picture with all the colors.
Oh, seeing all the pictures that all each of the colors had made. Trev?
The rainbow crane. That rainbow crane was really cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Interesting
she didn't
observation.
draw it.
How about you, Miss Hayden?
My favorite part was
How come?
because it was so small.
Small because it had turned so small.
the
that
blue,
you couldn't see over the
yeah.
ledge. And that was funny because, again, Mrs. Deimos made another connection when you read that page. We were talking one day through a text last week in our Wonders book, Hayden and Ken's. There was a graph about dollar bills, about bills in general, not dollar bills, about bills and their life expectancy, so to speak. Macy, tell Grandma, which bill lasted the longest lifespan? Yeah, and so we predicted why we thought.
Yeah.
Well, when's the last time you had a $50 bill in your wallet, right? We don't use them as much.
And which one went bad the quickest?
Oh, I bet you
I
she
bet-
could guess.
I
Do you think
think
Mrs.
I-
Randa would be able to
yeah.
guess? Mrs.
I'm
Randa?
gonna guess the dollar bill.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it was 5 and 10.
Oh, was it 5 and
Was it
10?
the 5 and the 10?
Yeah, it was.
Well, when you're old, it's probably because I'm older, and
Right.
it was
I
the
thought it was
dollar
the
bill,
dollar.
but that's what we used
I
to
know.
use in place of.
And I only realized
Let's
we
check.
But that's okay, Ken. But that just reminded me of the blue one, so I was just wondering if you could predict why you think the blue one was so smaller than the rest. Aiden, are you listening? Allison, you hear my question? I'm wondering why we think the blue was so small. Why was it so much smaller than the rest? Can you predict, Alice?
Because it's the most used
Yeah,
crayon.
maybe it was used more often than the other colors, right?
And when I asked you the question before that page, who thinks blue is their favorite color, almost everybody raised their hand. It's a very popular color.
That was very enjoyable. Are you going to be able to come to our animal fair next Friday?
I hope so. I plan on it.
hope so too. I'm
Is it
keeping my
okay if I
fingers
bring?
crossed.
I babysit her little sister Karis.
Oh, I would expect
I
Karis to
would
be
bring
here.
Karis along.
Yes, I would hope that she would be here.
I think the very first animal fair was way back at Sullivan School. Mrs. Tanis and I did the very first animal fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Curie and I used to always do the Thanksgiving play.
Yes.
But now that our standards have changed, last year we experimented with an animal fair. And it's very enjoyable. It's a great way to
And you're
end
doing
the
a play,
year.
right? Aren't you
Yeah,
doing a
we're
play?
doing a little performance, some songs, and we have a display of information
I can't
we're going to
wait.
show afterwards that we've done research on.
Well, I will be back to see you all again.
Yes, what do we say to Mrs. Riendo for coming in today?
Thank you, I had so much fun. You're very well behaved. It must be Broome, because they were always well behaved in this room.
That's so funny.
Thank
No, they're-
you.
They're a good group, they're a well-behaved group, a friendly group.
You picked two great books, Macy
I
Jones.
know, I love them
Thank you.
both, thank you. All right, boys
All
and
right.
girls, back to your seat.